Hello folks, this is John with Ozarks Backroads here with you. We're back in the garage today. Winter has made a return to the Ozarks and we can't get out, so we're kind of getting the bikes ready. This FJR here is going, we're going to take a big trip on it this summer, so we're doing some upgrades on it, and I'm going to look at some of the other things we've done on the Versys 1000 over here and talk about some of the things that I carry with me, and I was hoping to get a little feedback from some folks to see what other people carry with them when they travel. So stick around. I'd love to have you join me. This FJR right here, you know, it's a heavy bike, and if you look at the kickstand on this thing, pretty small footprint on the kickstand. It's not very big, and I've sunk that thing. That kickstand, I've sunk it in asphalt parking lots, you know, beside the road and the gravel, whatever. I don't know how many times I've about sunk, the bike's about gone over and the kickstand sunk. Now on this bike over here, on this this Versys that I've got, I went ahead and bought the Southwest Motec. I've had this thing at the river several times, in the mud, you know, on the side of the road where it's soft. And that thing just does not sink into the ground. It's great. It's not something you have to worry about or deal with. So I'll be going out on to Yellowstone this summer, and the Black Hills, South Dakota and Wyoming and Colorado on this FJR. So I'm going to go ahead and put a kickstand foot on this thing, and that'll be one less thing I have to deal with. And the only one I could really find online was this unit here from R&G Racing for the FJR. Is the only one I could find. So I'm going to put that on there, and that's a nice big foot. That ought to pretty well take care of any issues with the kickstand sinking into the gravel. Kickstand foot sits down in the recessed area. You slide this on the kickstand, then you set the foot in here, and then you slide this down and bolt it on. And it's probably a good idea to go ahead and use Loctite on these, I would say. Vibration could get to them. The other thing I wanted to talk about was, and maybe get some feedback, are the things that you take with you, people travel with when they go on trips. And over the years I've got different things that I take with me that I think are important, and I'm sure there's a lot of things that I probably have overlooked. Tire repair, you know, is always an issue if you're out on by yourself and you have a tire issue, puncture. You need to be able to fix your own tire. So what I use, I carry these CO2 canisters. There's 4 of them there that I have been carrying for a year or two. As far as I know, they don't go old. They should be fine. And then you got to have a tire repair kit, right? The plugs, something to fix the hole. And those, I always buy a new kit every year. The rubber cement, you know, that can start turning and getting thick or getting hard on you. And I don't know about these plugs, but you can buy those at Walmart for, they're not very much. So I usually just buy a new one every year, and that way I know I got fresh compound for sure, and fresh plugs. And there's the 2 tools right there that you use those for. The other thing I carry is a little tire pump, just in case I have a issue with the cartridge and maybe I don't get enough air out of those 4, which I would hope I would, but I've got a pump for a backup if I need it. But you know, it's a lot of work. If you had to pump a tire up from a flat to get 20 pounds in it, you're going to be there a while, but you can do it. It will work, and it's, you know, seems to be a fairly well built unit. So there's that. And the other thing that'll get you, or things that I run across people have trouble with, are their batteries. You know, your battery goes dead on you, your bike won't start. That sucks, especially when you're out in the middle of BFE somewhere. So for the battery situation, I carry a jump pack. This is a jump start. This is the micro start from anti-gravity batteries, and that thing will run. Well, not only can it jump your motorcycle, it's also got USB ports, so you can charge your phone if you need to charge your phone. It's even got output and adapters and stuff for your laptop. You can charge your laptop if you had to. You know, if you were camping or something and didn't have access to power, you could charge your phone and laptop, and it'll jump your bike, I would say, 50 times probably if it was charged up. I mean, they'll jump a car a bunch of times on one charge, and then that's the little clamps that plug into it. So that's just a pretty handy all-around device, and those actually do work. And the anti-gravity is one of the better units. They're made here in the States, and the ratings are really good on those. I've looked at a lot of videos on those jump starters, and the anti-gravities are always at the top of the list. What else? First, I don't have it laying out here. First aid kit, some sort of a first aid kit. It's a pretty good idea if you get to bleeding, somewhere to clean a wound and wrap it up. You know, take care of yourself. Usually first aid kits, if you use one, it's probably going to be to help somebody else, is generally how that works, but it's good to have. Alright, now for tools, I carry a lot of tools, probably way more than I should, but I use you know, you can buy tool bags and whatnot, but for me the easiest, this is some sort of a cover. I don't even know what it is, a waterproof slip over cover for something. I pile everything I'm going to take in there, and you know, all the stuff you need, your Allen keys, wrenches for changing tires, and always, man, don't leave home without your bag of zip ties. You can fix anything with zip ties. Those are I don't know how we even survived before they invented those. Those are the greatest things ever. And I usually carry this little socket set, little metric socket set, pliers, screwdrivers, all that sort of thing. And I will also, I don't leave home without my tire changing spoons here. I can change tires with those if I need to. But anyhow, all my doodads, I just wrap them up in this. Roll this up in a nice and tight, then I use a string and wrap it up in a nice little package, and it'll lay right in the bottom of my panniers. Either side, just lay right in the bottom. There's still a lot of room in there for other stuff. So that's what I use, but you know, everybody has their own thing on tools, seems like. Anybody has any other things you think that are really important, let me know, because I know I'm forgetting some things. We've got our foot installed here on the FJR. That's much better. That's a nice big footprint there. That ought to really help. This bike, it leans over quite a bit. I don't know if you can see, but it does lean over quite a bit on this kickstand. Originally, they don't. They're fairly upright, but what I do on mine is I've got a larger front tire than stock. The stock tire is a 120, what is it, a 120/70 17, and I run I like to run Metzler Cruiser tires on this. So it's got a Metzler 888 on it, and it's a 130/80. So it's about an inch taller tire, and that makes it lean. It makes it higher, so it leans over farther on the kickstand. And then on the back, I'm going to run a taller tire on the back as well. Right now it's got the stock, the 180/55. It's actually got a Michelin Pilot 4 on there, 180/55. I'm going to put the Metzler 888 180/60 on it. So it'll be, you know, half, 3/4 of an inch taller with that, so it's going to lean over even a little more, but it should be fine. Now there is one thing I would like to say, kind of a disclaimer about running the Metzler 888s on a sport bike or on a sport cruiser like this FJR Sport Tourer. The bike will run, it can run a lot faster than what those tires are rated at, the Metzlers. Those are H-rated, the Metzlers, which is like 130 miles an hour. And the bike comes with V-rated tires, which is 190 something maybe mile an hour rating. You know, it's a lighter carcass, the V-rated, they're lighter tires, so they don't grow as much. They can run that fast without coming apart. So I'm not recommending that anybody run, you know, an H-rated tire on a FJR. It's just my preference. I don't go over 80 miles an hour ever, so it's not a concern to me. But you know, if you're going to be out there topping your bike out, you definitely don't want to run an H-rated tire on your FJR or any other sport bike. Stick with the rating that it's supposed to have would be my advice. It's just something that I do. I like the heavier tire. They run forever. They got good traction, and I'm not worried about the speed rating. And the load rating is much heavier on these tires. So when I'm traveling, I feel better about having the heavier tire, but that's my preference. I'm not recommending that anybody else do that. That's just what I do. And like I say, the stand here on this this Versys, that foot there, that's the Southwest Motec foot, and it really makes a difference on it. You can't get it to sink. So I'm pretty stoked this is going to solve my problems. I sunk this one in, this FJR, I sunk it in asphalt parking lot twice last summer out in Utah. So I don't think that's going to happen again, hopefully. Alright, well that's kind of it for today. If there's anything that I need to be carrying with me when I travel that you don't see here, I mean there are other things, but those are the important things that I carry with me. If you got any other ideas, let me know. And I'd love to hear from you. And when the weather gets a little better, we'll get back with you and get out and do some stuff. Winter has been hanging on here. It kind of had a false spring for a week or two, and then it went back to winter again. So I haven't been able to get out. But anyhow, good talking to you. Come back and see me.